guys. Alright, first platoon headquarters move to the first line along with first squad. Start on the FK.
Traffic. What's up? Sorry, I was doing something.
Moved first line with first.
Roger.
Make sure the front rows are filled first. No empty space.
Two-one, dress left, please. Perez, could you run back the arsenal and remove your camo flakes, please?
Nicholas SPC cover down to the right. Ford squad move to the line in front of you. And join squad. Wizards and Griffin's headquarters moved to the front line. Third and fourth squad, the line's looking terrible. Look to your right and cover down properly.
Pierce, take a step back. Badger, move forward. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. Pache, move over to your right. Pache.
Three mics, War Eagles.
Hey, Top. Hey, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Ah, good deal.
Major LaFlash, if a company is all present and accounted for. Sir.
Outstanding. Post. Make sure I'm not yelling here. There we go. All right. I'm happy to be back up here. Holy smokes. I can't believe it's November of 2025 already. Hope you all have had a excellent fall, Halloween, as we obviously gear up for our last month of our current operation. Stuff's going to get hot and heavy. And, you know, our last operation, you know, potentially, I'll say, but last operation in Arma 3, official operation. As we all know that come December here, we are in that transition month throughout the month of December and our holiday exodus to move on into Reforger and all that. Obviously, the 1.6 just dropped, and that, you know, shook up a lot of units in terms of mods and the workable mods, I should say. So now we're in that, you know, let's get these modders to get their stuff updated so it's usable again. But outstanding. I thought month of October obviously flew by. You know, being able to view everything that's been going on. Beginning of October, we obviously honored our Soldier of the Quarter. So we just completed the first month of quarter 4 with November and then December left of our 2025 year. Obviously, we brought in, you know, a few soldiers throughout that October with PFC Dean, Todd, Pierce, Gorton. We did just also in the last 2 days have a few enlistees as well, but they'll be on our next month. So that's the whole part of, you know, the moving to Reforger. Obviously, recruitment, that's huge, right? The retention. We have our soldiers that are been here for a year, 2 year, 3, 5. You know, and we'll get to a couple of those anniversaries here in a little bit, but you know, it's just that newer, I guess, flashier thing, but newer, and that's really what draws all those individuals in. I know talking to a couple of the NCOs and a couple of the S2s, you know, our goal is to still have an Arma 3, you know, fun op server. I know specifically like Sergeant Donnelly, who posts fun ops, there'll still be things like that we'll be able to play around with and have some fun, just like we are right now for the Reforger side, to where it's not official. We're just playing around and learning it. Well, we're going to keep our feet in 3. And then also, I mean, we're constantly going to be potentially invited to just some fun things, other campaigns, joint operations on the Reforger side, but also the Arma 3 side, as you know, we have a good chunk of relationships throughout just the Arma series and Arma community in general. So looking forward to seeing what that looks like here when we hit that 2026. But with that, I would like to recognize and celebrate. We have Sergeant Starling, who on November 28th will be hitting his 3 years in the unit. You know, so Sergeant Starling will be receiving his coveted 3-year anniversary gift mailed to him. And then same thing with Corporal McTavish and Specialist Meadows, who on the 9th and the 1st, so we just actually had Meadows, will be receiving their 1-year anniversary gift. Both of those soldiers are finally, you know, rotated the sun, or soon to rotate the sun within the unit. So congratulations to these 3 soldiers. All of these are qualifying anniversary gifts. So with that 1 year in the unit, 2 years generally don't get anything, but once you hit that 3 and then 5, we'll be celebrating a little bit. We did last month celebrate 2 5 years, but now this is official with, you know, succeeding that and getting that next step. So with that, a couple DMOS announcements I'll get out of the way right away. S2, obviously continuing to look for a Zeus, or soon to be Game Master position. You know, message Captain Vandal directly, as we're constantly working on trying to improve our campaigns, our trainings, our things like that. That takes a skill set and somebody that's passionate about making it an environment for us to have fun in. FIG courses that we're running in November, and potentially, again, we only got 2 months of Arma 3 courses left. So Land Nav, It's going to be hosted on the 8th here, so next weekend. And then we got Air Assault. It'd be very behoove you if you don't have Air Assault or Land Nav, I'd get in these. I know Land Nav is something that we'll be able to easily transition over to Reforger. However, Air Assault, Airborne, those type schools is one of the cons to Reforger as we wait for that stuff to build out a little bit within their modding community. So, I mean, if you don't have it and you want it, I don't have a timeline on when that stuff's going to hit Reforger or how we can make it happen. We're going to have high focus on a lot of that done. FIG has been doing an outstanding job with our staff there and just being able to rewrite every single one of our courses, see what's possible within Reforger on every one of our courses. Everyone's going to have to shift a little bit. The idea is still to make them difficult in the areas that they're normally difficult in ARMA 3, and then just simplify as well to cut out some of the fat that's maybe not 100% needed, but something that is, just achievable, right? Truly achievable, but not a give me, not like the good conduct medal. So just a give me. But that's all I have for kind of opening notes. I will have some closing notes towards the end. But first, why don't we get on the ground and have a Private J Fox post. Outstanding. Office. All right. Private Second Class Fox here has been in the unit over a month or more now. He's hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of Private First Class, E3. Obviously, your first promotion outside of a training environment, out of graduating your OSET or basic training. So this is really your first time, truly up here receiving your rocker underneath those mosquito wings. Everybody, every single one of us in this formation has been to this point. It's early in our career, and kind of just look out at the ranks and the positions and the stories. All these soldiers in front of you right now, Fox. You got a whole career ahead of you with us, being able to utilize that and your skill sets, and hopefully leadership down the road to help continue to make sure this unit hits another, year 25, year 30. So outstanding job and congratulations. Cool.
Hua.
All right, Buffface.
Nope.
Congrats, POC. Bob again. All right. If I can get Fives, Jaeger, Sebens, Corporal Montana, Hillard, Specialist Nicholas, and Specialist Moffat post. All right, stand by. Get you guys to cover down a little bit and straighten up. We're close. We're close. All right, bell face, and then straighten up a little bit. There we go. Outstanding. All right. So these four in front of us, but the 7 I called, are hereby being awarded that good conduct medal, as I mentioned earlier. The give me. However, it's not always a give me. Right? You have to have good conduct. That's what it says for 3 months, which means you're posting TPRs when you're not here. You're reporting in. You're not AWOL. You're no behavioral issues. You're not on some NCO's list or higher NCO's list, and constantly having to have some conversations. So congratulations to these soldiers. You can get this up to 4 times a year. You can max this out by, year 5, and have that large amount of awards, devices on this ribbon. So congratulations, and hope to see you up here in another 3 months. Cool.
Hua.
Nope.
Outstanding. All again. All right, if I can get Pierce, Jacoby, and Dean post. Oh, you want to push? Okay. There you go. All right, office. All right. These 3 soldiers are hereby being awarded the National Defense Service Medal. So these soldiers went through a military verification process and are hereby being awarded the National Defense for their service to their nation. In this case, we have 2 soldiers, Pierce and Jacoby, for serving active duty currently in the United States Army. And then we have PFC Dean. Shout out to Dean for making honor grad as well this weekend for basic training and OSET as part of the Turkish Armed Forces. So these soldiers obviously provide quite a bit of that military feel to our units. I feel it's a strong mix between our civilian counterparts that are in this formation, our military current active duty, and then obviously our military veterans, that make up an environment that's fitting and still to the strength and the ability of what a MilSim can be. So congratulations. Thank you for your service. And congratulations. Hua.
Hua.
Nope.
Congrats, soldiers. All back in. All right. If I can get your post. All right, Belface. All right, Badger is hereby entering the E4 Mafia. He's hereby being promoted to the grade rank of E4 Specialist. Obviously, this is that role or that rank and that position that's universal, right? We joke around that it's the E4 Mafia. You kind of, you're senior enough to, maybe not get picked for something or a detail of some sort. But obviously, you're also responsible enough at times to be trusted with some details and other responsibilities. So achieving our specialists, this is the rank that you can be for life. I remember, 10 years ago, we had a specialist that was in the unit for over 5 years. That's his role. That's all he wanted. He didn't want leadership. To move up to that corporal or the NCO Corps, you have to take on leadership roles or leadership positions, as well as obviously be a part of some DMOSs and stuff like that. But the Specialist Corps on our NCO or our Specialist Corps and our E4 Mafia is a strong focus of this unit, right? You're the thoughtful leaders. You're potentially some bandwagoneers in there. You're here to participate and really make that decision at this rank, what you want to do in the unit. You want to chill and just show up on the weekends and game? By all means, do that. But if you want to expand your, horizons and grow and lead people, well, then you know the next steps, and that's getting into that NCO Corps and finding that leadership. So congratulations on achieving this step. I look forward to seeing, Badger, what you can do in the future here. Hua.
Hua.
Belface.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. Congrats. All back in. All righty. If I sure I keep these in order here. All right, if I can get Author, Marsh, Fitzgerald, and Pointer post. Oh, sorry, Corporal Marsh, if I didn't make that clear. If I recall, it's Medium Marsh, right? Belface? All right, so these soldiers are hereby being awarded Joint Service Achievement Medal, so the JSAM. This is only awarded to soldiers for DMOS, within a DMOS. So in this case, we have both Author and Marsh, Corporal Marsh, for their work as a 46 November as an anchor, for outstanding achievement of the members of public affairs. In the absence of their leadership, Sergeant Author and Corporal Marsh demonstrated exceptional initiative and professionalism by maintaining the highest standards of quality within all public affair recordings. Without direct supervision, they continued to support operations for over 3 months, ensuring all media and communication products met or exceeded unit expectations. Their dedication and initiative greatly contributed to the mission continuity, displaying an unwavering commitment of excellence. They have not only upheld established standards, but also actively sought additional tasks to support the team during the period of limited leadership availability. the selfless service and exceptional performance of Sergeant Author and Corporal Marsh reflect great credit upon themselves, the 3rd Infantry Division, United States Army. We then have, let's see, we got Fitz here. So being awarded to Staff Sergeant Fitz for distinguishing himself through exceptional meritorious service while serving as a member of our S1 recruiting and retention. As consistent professionalism, initiative, and reliability directly contributed to the team's success in meeting organizational goals and improving soldier readiness. Sergeant Fitzgerald consistently performed above expectations, often taking initiative without direction and providing vital support to 2 new team members. His leadership and teamwork foster a cohesive and effective work environment, enhancing the overall efficiency of the recruiting and retention mission. Staff Sergeant Fitzgerald's outstanding performance and dedication reflect great credit upon himself, 3rd Infantry Division, United States Army. And then Sergeant Pointer is the other one. I won't go into detail. My rule of thumb, if they're not here, I won't read it out just to save us time. But to highlight Sergeant Pointer being awarded the JSAM for his outstanding work within our S1 as well. So congratulations to these soldiers. Face. Congrats, soldiers. Keep doing what you're doing. Violent. Alrighty. If I can receive a, let's go with Bolton and Gorton post. Malvis. The recruit here, hopefully coming up on his delayed entry program completion, is hereby being awarded his very first combat infantry badge, so CIB-1. This is awarded only to our 11 Bravo or 11 series soldiers for completing their first combat operations with us. That's combat operation, not a presence patrol or a shaping effort. So congratulations on achieving step 1 of hopefully more to come. Congrats. All right, Elvis. Congrats, recruit. All right, if I can get Meadows, Hayes, and Hudson post. All right, Buffets. All right, as I mentioned earlier, to get into the NCO Corps, you got to be a leader of some sort, right? Fire team leader into a medic slot, take on those extra responsibilities. In this case, these 3 soldiers are hereby being promoted to the grand rank of Patrol E4A. Entering the entering E4, I should say, the NCO Corps, the Junior NCO Corps, is no small feat. Obviously, they have a promotion board first and foremost that they have to get recommended for even, and then they have to even pass it. Outstanding job to our NCO Corps. I know and heard of several times to where, we're going to do a mock board for this soldier to make sure he's prepared to go through. Because if you're not prepared and you take it unseriously, you definitely will not have a chance at passing. Some of the stuff that's in there is, extremely hard. Obviously, it's real world stuff that's taught. Of course, it's molded a little bit to the Armorverse. However, it's not an easy board, and it gets extremely harder as you go up in those. So paying attention and learning and soaking everything you can in to even make it to the NCO Corps is a hell of a feat in the first place. So congratulations on receiving the double mosquito wings, the corporal rank, and I look forward to your leadership and how you're going to continue to serve your soldiers that are assigned to you, and you as a leader continue to grow. So congrats. All right, Buffets. Congrats, Corporals. Make me proud. Fall back in. All right, next up, if I can get Jay Erickson, host. Office. Specialist Erickson here, hereby being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal. So this is one notch higher than that Joint Service Achievement. Again, same purpose, same requirement. This is only meant for a DMOS, right? You only get these through serving in our admin side of our unit. And usually at this stage, I like to say, I mean, it's great to be in a combat side. It's great to be able to do all that, but really what makes this unit be here for 22, I think, years and counting is our admin side. All of our S shops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 that get the stuff done daily to keep this unit looking professional, make sure our training's top notch, making sure we have people coming in the door, and then obviously making sure our image with public affairs is really showing what we continue to do. And the logistical side, S4, BMO, COE, CID, I mean, that's huge in what we do. So with that, obviously, our Specialist Erickson here being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal for his work done from June of 2025 to present day. The specialist has led the journalist team within the Public Affairs Office, ensuring all requirements of the team were met and exceeded expectations set forth by our public affairs leadership. The specialist's actions have not gone unnoticed by the leadership team of S6, nor his own team members, who reached out to our PO leadership to ensure that the specialist was commended for his dedication to the 3rd Infantry Division Realism Unit. So thank you, Specialist Erickson. Without your dedication, we definitely wouldn't be where we're at right now in terms of our S6. I know just yesterday we had interactions on making sure that some things are buttoned up, and you took it upon yourself and executed on that post. And you're constantly making sure that the image is out there of what we want, whether that's just in our own Discord, but obviously as we continue to push what the social medias look like and how we can continue to grow our quote-unquote brand of the 3rd Infantry Division Realism Unit. So congratulations. Congrats, Specialist. Keep doing what you're doing. Follow up. All right, if I can get Kit. He's present. Beautiful. All right, about this. So here I have two that I'll knock out right away. The first one's a back date. I always call these administrative paper delays, but unfortunately this one is over a year old. So yeah, we done fucked up and missed it. So I take responsibility for that. So first off, for being awarded backdating to May of 2024. Yep, that old. We're hereby being awarded your Combat Medical Badge Stage 2. Prior to where you're currently positioned at, obviously was in the medical field. If I recall, we had some things that we had to button up in terms of like records, but we were able to finally get to that point. So you're hereby being backdated your Combat Medical Stage 2, and then officially being awarded your Combat Action Badge now that you're out of the medical field and back just into our 19 Deltas. So our medical or our Combat Action Badge Stage 1 is also what you're being awarded today. So add a little hardware and you can choose which one you want to have in your uniform. Be the action badge. How about this? All right. Congrats, Specialist. All right. Shocked. He present. Doesn't look like it. All right. So Shocked recently just transferred over to our aviation detachment as one of our crew chiefs. So he's hereby being awarded his Army Aviation Basic Crew Member Badge. Add to his hardware of the decorated Sergeant Shocked. So congrats to him. Cool.
Wow.
All right. Next up, if I can get, all right, it's going to be a little bit of a length list, I think. So let's see, we got Pointer, we got Corporal Marsh, we got Jay Fox, We got Specialist Holmans. I'm going to mess that up. PFC Perez. We got Clifford and Mansour. Post. Sorry, Hillard, not Clifford. There was no dot in between the C and the H. All right. Outstanding. Belface? All right, so I got Perez, Fox, Marsh, and Hillard. All right. So, I got Marsh here. So this is hereby being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. This one's a joint one with Marsh and Pointer. In the time of their SL being occupied with real-life commitments, medical training, for the better part of the last 2 months, both FTLs of 2nd Squad have stepped up to the occasion, making sure the gap won't be felt by both the platoon and the squad, ensuring the platoon stays on top of its assignments during the deployment, as well as taking care of the day-to-day tasks and managing the squad. This admiral thinking and taking action is above and beyond what is expected for the length as an FTL with their time in that position. Their actions were selfless, full of valor, and pride for both the squad, the platoon, our company, which is the key values of the NCOs in this unit. We then have Private Fox. Since his arrival to Scorpions, he has put forth immense effort in helping the team whenever necessary. From being fresh to the team, he has been put into the AAR slot to get a grasp of how things operate. Shortly after his first weekend with the squad, he expressed interest in picking up a CLS slot for his team, since the previous member in that billet is no longer there. He quickly offered to help and was sent to the NCO course hosted by FIG to get his qualification, helping his team with their lack of CLS personnel, making his team more efficient and helping with their needs even without being asked. After passing his class and filling the billet, he also became an immense help in the combat effectiveness and readiness of his team, improving their uptime and minimizing their downtime from injuries. Multiple times he's gotten his team through mass cash events. We then have, I believe, Perez. Yep, Perez. During shipping effort 11, PFC noticed one of the recon Humvees on fire, noticed recon was taking fire, and one of them was down. Lieutenant Duck's Humvee took a catastrophic damage from the enemy NLAW, leaving him in critical condition. Perez called his squad over as they rushed to the site, laying down smoke cover and setting up defensive positions around the injured soldier and the disabled vehicle. His quick thinking and knowledge of setting up defensive positions were pivotal in defending the injured. Perez, with the help of Sergeant Arthur, began life-saving treatment on the lieutenant. Without the PFC's situation awareness, we may have not known that they were there, leaving them to their own fate. The PFC has, on many occasions, used his experience as a local law enforcement officer, or LEO, with his heightened sense of awareness and help relay battlefield information to the correct chain of command, assisting the squad's combat effectiveness while also saving lives. We then have, so those are just your standard Army Achievement Medals. We then have with V-Device for Hillard. During Mission Scorpion, the corporal showed excellence as the squad medic, in the squad medic position through efficiency and quick thinking. During the assault on the large town just before the airfield, First Squad had encountered a massive amount of enemy infantry, as well as multiple tanks, which led to a mass cast event for the squad. Many members were down and were severely injured in the large firefight. Only 4 members of the squad remained. The corporal quickly designated a temporary CCP for the Bravo squad and squad leader who were down, working with the CLSs to stabilize the 3 members who were down in the close facility. As soon as the patients were stabilized, the corporal led a push towards Alpha Team, who was down to their last man in the firefight with a little over 100 meters away. Corporal pushed through the enemy fire and then rendered aid to the 2 casualties of Alpha Team, while the last remaining member of the team provided cover fire. Due to the corporal's quick actions and medical knowledge, efficiency, and quickly getting first squad back into action, without his help, there was a good chance that first squad would have been either captured or killed. So that was with V Device. Shout out for Mansour as well, who's being awarded the Army Achievement Medal with V Device. So congratulations. I mean, you can kind of see the storylines behind all of these, the scenarios behind all of these. There's direct thinking, actions, instincts kind of kick in, as well as that leadership. They all took charge, right? And that's really what the Army Achievement Medal is all about, is that first level, like, this is leadership. We're going to get out of this together. We're going to make shit happen. So congratulations to these soldiers for being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. Cool.
Whoa.
All right, Buffers. That's a lot of reading. Get that. All right, follow up. All right, next up. Go ahead and me. Corporal Marsh. Cool. Office. All right. So you had been up here quite a bit today, and I understand why. This is what's on the docket today. You're hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E5 Sergeant. Congrats. So obviously you're entering no longer, well, a little bit into the junior NCO Corps, but you're a seasoned NCO when you think about being a fire team leader. It's extremely well-deserved in terms of, what you bring to the team, as we've already had you up here several times today for awards and medals and recognition. And it goes to show the type of soldier you are. You take care of your soldiers. You are respected by your comrades and your soldiers that you lead, as, not just within your squad, but also the entire platoon, the entire company. So keep doing what you're doing. Loving to see that you're constantly being recognized. As, we've had some conversations on late night gaming as well. And, you're outstanding. Just keep taking care of your soldiers, keep leading from the front, and continue to, handle that retention and really just make the soldiers feel good for what they're here for. And that's because of you. So congrats. Office. Congrats, Sarge. Fall back in. All right. If I can get Badger again, host. Office. All right. Badger here is hereby being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. So this is awarded for soldiers that donate $50 or more in a calendar month. So in this case, we have the specialist now donated $60 to the unit fund, not the game fund that we also have, which we'll touch on here in a little bit. But the unit fund, which fuels things like our website, our server, all overhead expenses, things like our anniversary gifts and things like that. Obviously, it's very important that we keep that fund going, right? I've always been a firm believer. There's two things that destroy units and why they're no longer around is because either they had poor leadership. I think we have some of the top leadership in this entire ARMA community. And trust me, I know a thing or two. I've been around a thing or two. And I know exactly what we preach and train and coach and develop. But the other part is finances, right? If you have nobody that is a sugar daddy and can flip the bill, I know many, many years I've been that, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to not have to worry about that. Because I would say in the last 5, 7, 10, whatever years, we've been pretty self-supplied by our soldiers. And a big one is because of the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. Having soldiers that feel passionate enough to donate their hard-earned cash to the unit, and be able to get a virtual ribbon, yay! But it's really above that, right? You want to make sure that you obviously must feel something. You're getting something from this unit, and you feel compelled to get out there and donate and give back We all give back our time. Obviously, time is money, but also being able to donate is huge, and it can't go underrated or unappreciated because to me, those two factors, leadership and finances, are what's going to make sure that we're around in 2026, 27, 2030, and so forth. So a big thank you to you, Badger, for continuing to show us that and donating. So congrats.
Hooah.
All right, Bellface.
Rob?
All right, fall back out. Also, while he's falling out, another shout out to Specialist Riser. Didn't hit the minimum of $50. However, he did donate to our unit fund as well in the month of October. I might check that off. Going through, making sure I have check marks on my stuff. All right. Next up, if I can get First Sergeant Garcia, Sergeant First Class Marsh, Staff Sergeant Nagy, Sergeant Zvick, Sergeant Author, Corporal York, Corporal A. Erickson, and Specialist T. Hunter. Post. All right, Bellface. All right. This list of soldiers should sound familiar if you were up here or if you were in this formation last month. These soldiers achieved an anniversary within our unit, anywhere from 1 year up to 5 years in this unit, if I recall. I just know because First Sergeant and Sergeant First Class at that 5 year. But these soldiers are hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. So this is awarded to soldiers with 12 months, so 365 days plus in the unit with a deployment. So this is one that obviously we're mostly always deployed, but achieving this and adding it to your ribbon rack if this is your first one, but this is something that is awarded every year as a TIS because a campaign or an operation is kind of a give me. We're in a MilSim. We're going to do it. So congratulations to these soldiers on achieving another trip around the sun. All right. Bellface. Congrats, soldiers. Bow back in. All right, if I can get split MinSync post. Bellface. All right, specialist here by being awarded the Army Commendation Medal. This is one step higher than that Army Achievement. So on October 12th, 2025, Shaping Effort 11, the day that a specialist found him and his squad facing challenges, an enemy IFV with no AT left. With the help of his squad laying down smoke cover, the specialist called on the net, can I place a demo block on it? Oh, God. Hopefully this was recorded. Specialist risked his life charging the IFV to get within range to set a demo block on it, barely running clear of the blast as he was forced to detonate the block earlier due to the IFV moving. The destruction of the IFV by remarkable bravery of the specialist made the platoon able to continue their mission without being fired upon anymore by the prospective IFV, which was keeping the rest of the platoon pinned down. Clearing the northern assault route of the platoon to objective Camel, his daring play prevented the enemy from laying withering fire upon first platoon as they begun their assault into an open field. Outstanding job. That is some, out of the box thinking. That's what I guess we want out of every single soldier. Obviously crazy when you think about it, and hopefully something that somebody can show me a clip of, because that's some good content right there. So congratulations, outstanding job. Hell of a feat to be able to, for sure, even hit it with the demo block, let alone the run to it and back. You know, you're Captain Spears in this case. So congratulations. Hua.
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 All right, about face.
Hua.
Hell yeah. All out. All right, next up, if I can get Hillard and Perez. All right, Bellface. All right, these two soldiers are hereby being awarded their basic airshoot badge. So in the month of October, we had a airborne school. These two soldiers were the sole graduates of that airborne school. So obviously getting into your first parachutes, right? But also getting yourself ready for, you know, potentially some good action coming up at the end of this operation. So congratulations, getting that airborne out of the way. As I mentioned before, it might be one of the last schools that we're able to get operational in Reforger. Between that and air assault and how all that will work and we're able to utilize it. So congrats and outstanding.
Hua.
Hua.
Top face?
Hua.
Congrats, airborne. Actually, Hillard, post. I'll stay up here. All right. I'll have you go back. All right, Buffets again. All right. With that, I guess promotes Hillard here, Corporal Hillard, to achieve Ranger School, Airborne School, and Air Assault School, qualifying him for the French Fougere, also known as the French cord that goes on your other chest. So this is for achieving 3 out of 5 of the combat skill badges that we offer throughout our courses. So again, one of those that might be pretty difficult to achieve, knowing that 2 out of those 5 might not be available, as you know, in the early of 2026. So congratulations! Obviously, getting that French cord, your breast pocket is stacked and weighing you down nowadays. So congrats!
Hua.
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 Buffers?
Hua. Hua.
All right, fall back in. All right. If I can get Lieutenant Cooper, Sergeant Yeager, Author, myself, Bishop, and Hillard again. Sorry, Hillard. Just getting some exercise. All right, Buffers. All right, these soldiers are hereby being awarded Armed Forces Service Medal. So equivalent to how the Armed Forces Expeditionary is a time in service for combat and being in the unit, the Armed Forces Service is something that we designate into our DMOSs. So again, one of those ribbons and medals that are only achievable through working in a DMOS and for an extended period of time. So in this case, the qualification is 6 months in a DMOS. So you can get this up to 2 times a year if you're dedicated. So in this case, we have Cooper for his work within public affairs as the officer in charge. We have Yeager for his work with public affairs as a journalist. We have Author for his work in public affairs as an anchor. We have myself as a cadre administrative, basically an assistant. We then have Specialist Bishop for his work within FIG as a range safety officer. And then we have Hillard for his work within FIG as a range safety officer. So again, all of these are their hard work within their DMOS, in this case, FIG and public affairs. So, outstanding.
Hua.
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 Buffets. Congrats, soldiers. Bob again. All right. Checking over my list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty. Oh, no, okay. Go ahead, Lotus and Kit, post. Buffets. All right. So these two soldiers are hereby being awarded the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal and their third ID combat patch. So this is awarded to soldiers that hit at least 3 combat operations within our unit. So generally, that's about 3 years to achieve all that. In this case, we have Cadet Lotus, which is being backdated back to June for his work of achieving his, I believe, his stage 3 combat action. And then we just had Kid up here receiving his stage 2 medical, which means he's done 2 campaigns as a medic, and then 1 combat action. So that also qualifies him for that 3. So congratulations to these soldiers earning their combat patch and global war. Ooh.
Whoa.
All right, Buffets.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. Follow. All right, if I can get Icer and Jay Hunter post. I don't see any movement. Oh, I got somebody maybe. Hey, there you are. Outstanding. Buffets? All right, so these 2 soldiers in the month of October, First Sergeant and our NCO soldiers hosted and completed a WLC. So with this, they're being awarded their NCO Professional Development Ribbon, so kind of their first stage. The caveat with this is, remember, you went through the course, you went through WLC, you're a graduate. However, you still need to be an NCO, which is the end goal of all this, right? Get into that NCO core of being why you go through the WLC course. But then also you have to be a corporal to be able to have it on your uniform. So it'll be on your file. Once these soldiers hit the rank of corporal or higher, then obviously that is able to be presented and shown on their uniform. So congratulations. I mean, as I mentioned before, the leadership side of this unit is extremely top-notch. Of course, we have our gaps. We have our areas that we need to clean up and address, and professionalism at times, things like that. But in terms of getting shit done day to day, taking care of our people, having good camaraderie, limiting the Armorverse drama and the online stuff, I feel our NCO course takes care of a lot of things. It's the backing of our entire unit. So congratulations on entering and going through WLC. I've very well versed in WLC. In fact, I think this is the first WLC that I wasn't a part of for a while. Garcia, usually if I'm available, I like to be there. I love being a part of those. But Garcia and the First Sergeant has been doing outstanding in getting these courses going, and something that we want to keep doing. Leadership development is what's going to keep this unit alive, as I mentioned. So congratulations on your NCO Dev ribbon. Ooh.
Whoa.
All right, Buffets. Congrats, Specialist. Bob Egan. All right. If I can get Sergeant Ivanov post. All right, Buffets. All right, Sergeant Ivanov has a long tenure history in our unit. In fact, coming up on that 5 years in a couple months. I was just looking at that, how I'm going to get that over to you. Well, they might have to set up another exchange of some sort through your mediator here. However, happy to announce and promote Sergeant First Class, or Staff Sergeant here to Sergeant First Class E7. He stepped into a role. First being a platoon, or first being a squad leader of First Squad for quite a while, many years, and finally getting that opportunity to move on up, take over as Widowmaker 7, getting in there, doing an outstanding job in terms of taking care of his soldiers in game, and making sure that uniforms and gear is all squared away. Working on the basics there. One thing that he's consistent in is, if I recall, I remember looking back, this was about a month ago, and I pulled all of our attendance records. I think for sure the stretch of our current website and a little bit of the prior one. if I recall, I couldn't find a time that you even had a TPR in, outside of I think a stint to where like there was no power. But outstanding job in terms of dedication and being here when the time requirements are, meaning like a squad drills, platoon, or campaigns or operations. You're one that you do not CPR very often, if at all. So congratulations. I mean, that dedication is unmatched. If we can get that out of our soldiers, I mean, we'd have full formations every single week. We wouldn't have to collapse squads into each other and just things along those lines. So congratulations on Sergeant First Class. It's a big undertaking. The responsibility of being a platoon leader is no small feat. I know your platoon leader speaks extremely highly of you. Obviously throughout the company and the NCO Corps, you need to continue to lead by example, show your team what it is to be a Sergeant First Class now, and continue to make sure our unit is out there and thriving for the years to come. So congratulations.
Hurrah.
You promised me 3 months time, 3 years time in grade, man. What the fuck?
About face Sergeant First Class. Congrats, Ivanov. Well earned. All right, fall back up.
That's my boy right there. That's my boy.
Nice job, first one.
Of course, first squad's the very loudest, so congrats. All right, just going through, making sure I didn't miss anything before I get to these last two. Nope. I printed double-sided by accident, so I the flip-flap. All right. I did. All right. So next up, if I can get Poltrack, D. Frost, Kidon, D. Scott, and Meadows post. All right. Buffers. All right. These 5 I called out, but the 3 in front of you today are hereby being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal. This is for going above and beyond, taking care of your soldier with technical or a monetary side of things. In this case, we have several soldiers hereby being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal. So in this case, Poltrack, you're getting this times 2 because you donated $100 to the Arma Reforger Game Fund, and for us as well, $50 to the Arma Reforger Game Fund. We also had the Kidon and Scott that spent over, and Meadows that spent over $50 or more purchasing other games for fellow squad mates and soldiers within this unit. Kind of touching on that game fund side of things as we go through this month. I'll be directing company and platoons to we got to start looking at those lists of soldiers and getting and consolidating these lists of soldiers that don't have Arma Reforger yet. We obviously want to hit a window to where the game is on a sale of some sort to maximize our fund a little bit. But ideally, stay tuned for those announcements as we go through the month of November here and try to get that list, because hopefully by seeing when that time frame is, whether that's usually around the holiday time frame, it'll go on the winter sale. But congratulations to these 5 soldiers. You can see that they're really putting their money where their mouth is and where their heart is, and they're taking care of us with the unit fund or the game fund, but then as well as fellow soldiers as well, as that money will be then spent to take care of soldiers. So, congratulations and thank you. Big thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Cool.
All right, office. Outstanding. Fall back in. If I can get Garcia and Marsh, Sergeant First Class Marsh, post. Perfect. Sergeant First Class is off somewhere yelling at some poor private right now. With that, as I mentioned earlier, we announced or celebrated, I should say, 2 pretty big anniversaries last month. And now officially we've exceeded that 5-year mark for both of them, both Garcia and Sergeant First Class Marsh. So they're hereby being awarded our Defense Superior Service Medal, DSSM, which is top, one of our top medals if you look on our ribbon racks. So this is a 5-year for reaching 5 years time in service with our unit within a single tour, meaning they at any point in their career and held positions of enormous responsibility. In this case, we had Sergeant First Class Marsh as the platoon sergeant for quite a long time, and then we have First Sergeant Garcia, which has been our first sergeant for a couple of years now, and came up. Just being able to have soldiers like this, the longevity, it's an honor being able to purchase and send off these 5-year anniversary gifts. For one, I think they're probably the one of the coolest gifts we can give until I hit my 20 year and you all send me to Hawaii. Joking, maybe. But also, it's something that I look forward to every single time. As I mentioned, I just mentioned with Sergeant First Class Ivanov, I look forward to being able to put those together and be able to ship them off. So in this case, Garcia, I don't know what the hell's wrong with your customs, but hopefully we figure that out. I know Marsh received his already. And obviously Garcia was the first one in many years to be able to hit that 5-year. Tucci was the first one to hit that in many years. So if you want to see what it looks like, once Garcia, figures out his the customs of Brazil. If not, I know Marsh will have shared it already. But obviously, when I ordered these, I know this medal's coming, so it's officially not on their record until today. But it is on their gift. So congratulations, extremely well earned. This is one that takes quite a while to achieve. Obviously, you get it at every 5 years in the unit. At this time, I think I'm the only one that has multiple of this. And as you continue to go forward in your careers, it's longevity. There's a lot of stuff that you got to do and jump through and be a part of and be active and be a contributing member of this unit to have 5 years within one tour. There's units out there that their whole lifespan has been 5 years and they fail. We have soldiers that have 5 years plus and now multiple. We're over a half a dozen already that hit that 5-year mark that are currently in this unit. So outstanding job, Garcia and Marsh, and I hope you enjoy your gift. Hua. All right, about face. Congrats, Top.
Thanks, sir.
All right. I want to thank, as we wrapped up, look at that perfect timing. 2 minutes. All right. With that, is Sergeant Zvik information. DTPR. So we do have an announcement of retirement, one that had to go through battalion processing. Sergeant Vic, one of our squad leaders of 1st Platoon, hereby put in a retirement packet this last month. So it's one of those that it's always bittersweet. Definitely losing a soldier that's an NCO. In this case, he's a soldier that currently serves in the IDF, has military background. He's actually a pretty high NCO within the IDF. So that I guess mindset, and as I mentioned earlier when talking about the national defense, it adds extra to this unit, regardless what military you're a part of. So obviously losing an NCO like that is difficult when we have to retire them and move forward. Zvik has served in multiple DMOSs throughout his career with us. Being that this was a waivered retirement approved by myself, there is no automatic promotion. As there's certain stipulations that you got to hit to hit that, but hopefully we see Sergeant Vic in his message to us. He plans to return. It's just life's getting him down. There's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, you can imagine in Israel, in that whole side of the world. So the fact that he was with us for this many years during this entire time is something remarkable, regardless of what spectrum or what side of and all that happens. But big thank you to his service. I look forward to, we just had both his FTLs up here earlier, receiving awards for doing outstanding work covering for Sergeant Vic as he's going through his real world stuff. So I look forward to seeing what that replacement will pick up and do. The replacement process for Sergeant Vic is underway. That's handled by Lieutenant Bird and Sergeant First Class Ivanov, and then obviously companies involved with the processing and selection. But the best thing, looking and having some behind the door conversations, there's several options. That's fucking amazing, right? There's not just oh yeah, this person's up next, right? Scenario, because that's what we have to get away from, right? We do not need to select leaders just because they have tenure here. Tenure does not mean shit, right? It means that they've been here 100%. Don't get me wrong, that dedication is top notch, but are they the right fit for the culture of that squad to take that squad or that element or that platoon or whatever onto that next level, that next stage of what that squad or element or platoon or whatever can be. So it's getting the pick right, and the soldier that will get, will ultimately be named is one of the best, right? We want to make sure that we're putting the right leader in the right spots. And that's my commitment to making sure that that's where the leadership is so strong in this unit that when we have that scenario and we have to make those decisions, it's hard, right? It's extremely hard on this leadership, but it's amazing to see the fruit of their labor and their hard work pay off for that individual that's selected. So looking forward to what that entails in the next week to this month as we go through that process. So without further ado, my 60 minutes is up with you. So I'll get these out there. Please make sure you get out there, report in. Obviously, we've had quite a few AWOLs across the roster. I see First Sergeant's diligent on making sure platoon elements are well aware of that. The other part I want to touch on is voting. If you haven't noticed, we're not very high on that voting list anymore. Obviously, we all know my ties to MilSim units. So it's I don't want to be a hypocrite when I say get out there and vote, because obviously, yes, it's my platform. But we should be well above where we're at daily. And if we're not in first or second place on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the weekend, we're doing something wrong. So NCOs, as I mentioned that, please get out there. The last thing we want is to be way down on there. Personally, it's a black eye for me. Everybody knows that I am the commander of the 3rd Infantry Division, and when they're in 15th place for the week or the day, and it's the platform that we built, it's a little black eye. But that's not the important thing, right? We're missing out on so many recruits. I have privy of how many people process through that website and see units and join units based on that. And that's really based on the ranking that they're at in that day. And as somebody comes, we have over 30 to 40,000 people come through that website a month. That's a lot of opportunities to catch somebody's eye. So please, NCOs, give me a great birthday in December here, and make sure we're on the top of that list, or a New Year's gift. I don't care, but I will kiss you if you get us on the top of that list for X amount of days. So that's all I have to say. That's my final words of wisdom. Again, appreciate you guys letting me come up here. Obviously, the Vandal and Lieutenant Cooper had a TPR today, so I had to pitch hit, and I love doing it. I love talking, so you can see. But big thank you. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Let's finish this operation extremely strong, motivated, and let's get ready for Reforger. I think it's going to be a great thing for us. I have a guest here today off to my left he's the company commander the unit commander of the 183rd Air Assault. There's a 24-hour operation coming down the pipeline for Reforger. I'd love to get us involved in that if we're in the right spot, like we were with the 15th MEU and all them last summer, or now almost 2 summers ago. But working hand in hand in this case, Captain Devin here is one of also our moderators and leads for MilSim units, but wanted to invite him along, so everybody say hi to him. He's been here before, but say hi again.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello.
So let's finish the year off strong. Let's finish this operation off strong. Let's have a good exodus. My final note with that exodus, I did put out a operation our ops center message. Our official exodus is going to be taking place here at the end of December. We'll talk about it again here on December 7th. But we're going to be looking at the 22nd of December through the 2nd of January as our holiday stand down time. Again, as I mentioned in the message, we're going to be active, but that's our go spend time with family. We got Christmas, we got New Year's in there, and enjoy ourselves. But put that on your radar. If you're planning something to be away, no TPR is required, no LOA is required, anything like that. If you're gone the weekend before or the weekend after, really just a TPR is all that's needed. No LOA. But spend the time where we want to be. Many of us will be here gaming. Many of us will be here on probably Reforger, learning some things and how to do it. As we still got a large amount of uphill battles that we got to get to get ourselves ready for Reforger at the launch of 26. So look forward to being here. Look forward to seeing what we do in the end of this year. So
I hear
rocking them on.
183rd ID join FTX. Is that what you said?
All right. Let's see if I can get. Let's see who's ranking. Let's go with Duck. I never get Duck up here. Let's have Duck post. All right, take charge of the company. Let's miss him. Get him ready for some battles. Cool.
All right, first
How
platoon,
do I increase
second platoon,
my
you guys
focus?
are dismissed. You have got
Control
second
tab.
platoon 15 minutes to take bio breaks before we're getting ready for stepping off. First platoon, you guys are delayed by another 30 on top of that, I guess. All right, let's get to it.
While the
Corporal
member we have a
Hale,
brief
you
and
are wearing the wrong rank insignia. Consider yourself on a charge. And well done, lad.
Pull out to say that. Where'd you search?
Fuck. Why'd you have to out him
Fall
like
the
that?
fuck out of formation.